welcome to another Faversham Strolls. And can you guess where I am? No? Well, today we're going to go to Doddington. Now, Doddington is that way. Newnham is that way. So I thought I'd start at the memorial. This is it. Now, this was erected in 1919. It was decided that Newnham and Doddington would build one together for the villages, and yeah, and there it is. It's been here since 1919. Right, interesting fact, you might see there, Newnham, and Newnham is that way. Even there it says Newnham, Doddington. Come around here and this is all the Doddington fallen, and obviously Doddington's through there. I don't know whether you've been like me, but drove past this wall for years until I started researching it. I didn't even know there was a gate there. Oh, let's see if I stand on the log. Right, it's all part of Doddington Place. Right, years ago, used to be before that was built up the top, Doddington Place, there used to be a house down here somewhere called White. And over there, I'll show you in a minute, used to be a gas work, and it used to give energy to the Whitemans, you know, like gas and whatever. Well, it was gas, and there's the remains of it, look. So yeah, imagine that, a gas works, and it's making gas to give energy to the house, which was here, Whitemans, and then Doddington Place. Right, on to the next bit. Park Cottage. This one's called Old Gardens. Both red bricks. Plain tiles, grade 2 listed. And well, they're probably part of the estate and built early 18th or late 17th century. So that's them. They're basically they're the first two houses on the right as you come into Doddington. Right, now we're going up Church Hill. Now, I've never seen the church, never been up this road, so I shall see you at the top. Now, this was the old vicarage, built in 1600s but upgraded through to the Victorian times. Until about 1982 was a parochial library, one of the few ancient libraries, and I think it's at Fleur-de-Lis. It's a strange church, the beheading of St. John the Baptist. Wow, how did it get that name? Anyone know? Alright, this was built in, strange, I wonder. Everything looks derelict here though. Is it still in use? This is grade 1 listed, so it's quite important. And it was built in the 12th century, more added on in 1200, in the 1200s and 15th century, so that'd be 13th century, 1200s. Oh, it's locked. Never mind, it's a bit late anyway. But it looks like they still do services here. Doddington Place Gardens opening times, Wednesdays, Sundays and bank holidays, Easter Day until the 30th of September. The old house. Lovely looking house. I believe it had a bakery behind it. At the bit more about the old house. It's actually built in the 15th century. Yeah, so I think behind was a bakery. Right, next we have this school, Doddington School, or what used to be Doddington Primary, is now Infinity School. It was built in 1876. It closed around 2006. There was a schoolhouse which was somewhere here, but no longer. Right, next we're back on the thing. Now, on the right here, I'm not going to face towards because obviously people live there, and they're known as Forge Cottages, and they're called Forge Cottages because there used to be a forge here. Population of Doddington in 2021 was 586. In 2011 it was 527, so what's that, nearly 50 odd and in 2001 there was 557. Compared to Newnham, which had 362, it works out 84 people per square kilometre, whereas Doddington has 66, but it is a larger village. Sharsted Court, which we see in Newnham, is actually in the parish of Doddington. You see at Sharsted Court, Iron Age remains was found and Roman remains. There's been a settlement on the site of the village since the 11th century, and you won't be surprised to hear he's mentioned in the Domesday Book. At Chef's Pub, the Checkers Inn, was a was it George Beer and Rigdon pub, and it once had a pond outside somewhere here. Where I am now had a pond, and then it was filled in due to flooding, and a barn at the end here where the car park is, which burnt down in the 80s. It was an important coaching inn for Maidstone to Faversham and on to Canterbury, and it's said to have 2 resident ghosts, one of them being a cavalier. I don't know where he's the laughing cavalier. Across the road is the old corner house, which is there. Let's do it while we're here. That's the corner house, which was once a corner shop, or it was known as the corner stores. It closed and the post office became the main shop. The next door, it used to be a furniture shop and other things. I think they used to sell other stuff in it as well, and might have been a storage or house moving place. But yeah, all this history lurks us around here. So can anyone remember that being a haulage or removal place, or even a furniture shop? I'm not sure about the corner stores. Seems like a long time ago when that shut. But I bet some of your parents remember it. Let us know, please. We're at the bottom of Hope's Hill. Right, we'll cross over. Well, I'll just film it from here. That house is called Rapson's. It's believed to be an 18th century house. It went up to there. I don't know whether it's... yeah, it still looks like one house. And yeah, it was used as a tailor's at one point. And the tailors would be for the gentlemen's servants, horsemen, and whatever else they had. Right, with the Doddington Village Hall, quite interesting building. I was in it earlier this year, because it's some of the history of Doddington and folk music. Yeah, it started out as a Methodist church, but in the 50s it was sold to the village. It started a village hall charity sort of thing. They asked to buy this place, and the Methodists weren't going to sell it, so they went looking elsewhere. They was in the process of buying some land somewhere, and the Methodists had a change of heart. So yeah, in the 50s, and now it's the village hall. Right, this is a place, village and surrounding areas to know. Delties. Delties, family butcher, award-winning sausages. So they've been there about 100 years, Delties, but it's been a butchers for quite a while, and butchers come shop. And one of their relatives had a shop up in East Lynn. If you watch the East Lynn video, the butchers and the post office. So we'll walk up here, not much to see now, I suppose. Right, that looking in the window, look at that, the old post office. So there are pictures online. I'll do it from up here. So and this is the old post office cottage. There's a photo of the fella or woman who took it from somewhere right down here or a bit further back. Yeah. Right over there, there's Walnut Tree House and Walnut Tree Cottage. Both quite old. Cottage dates from the 1500s and the house from 1700s. Opposite is the Yew Tree Cottage. Well, or cottages. Used to be one house, and not thinking too much. Now it looks like it's 3 houses, 3 cottages. Oh, there's only a couple more sites to see. But this next one I love because I like pubs. Many villages or even roads out in the countryside losing them, but Doddington has still got its own garage. Look at that. Hi, BP fuel, and this is Doddington service station. Doddington Parish Council. I could look in it, there's no one in there. So yeah, this is a recreation ground. And it was dedicated to the village in 1929. That's a nice there. Growing up, did you come up here and use this? 1929, you know what I mean? So it's, if you lived in Doddington. So hopefully I'm going to show you a bit of video after I say bye. So but that's if it the light. I won't be able to take the drone up now. It's like the GoPro, the drone, the sensor's too small, so I'll come up tomorrow. They're giving it to be sunny tomorrow, so should get a nice shot going down the high street. Well, as you probably see at the beginning of this video. So I'm going to shoot back to the car, which is just past the pub, and shoot down Old Lennon Road. Now I've only seen it on the Doddington website, Doddington and Witchling, and it's just an interesting place. So I keep saying so, don't I? Right, so I'm going to stop saying so. No, I'm not. I won't be able to. Right, going to go out there, Old Lennon Road, shoot off to, I'm not going to tell what it's called, bit of this nice history to it, but hopefully it's not too dark, and I'll see you soon. Ooh, okay, so we're in a nice little hamlet, and it's called Lady Margaret Hamlet, and we're going to have a look at Lady Margaret Manor, which is partly there, which is old house house. Now I've got to be careful because it's some sort of school. It was originally known as Grit, after Thomas de Grit, the owner, in 1327, under the reign of Edward III. The property was divided into the Great Grit and Little Grit. But this is what I had to come out and see. Look at that. I don't know what that's about, but it's the way in. Again, I don't want to think towards windows. There's the people in. There's light on there. So just show you that around there quickly. Right. There's a car, that's why I had to think. It's a fair old drive, a nice drive. Warren Street, 1.5 miles. then 4 mile, and Doddington 1.5. Right, what do we know? Towards the end of the 14th century, the Canterbury pilgrims began to find their way to the manor, where according to the deeds of the manor, it was commanded that their needs be supplied in the form of a straw bed and a stropavel, or stupavel, sorry. The poor went to Little Grit and the rich went to Great Grit. Yeah, there's the great divide. I don't know whether there's much left of the the 13th century. All looks pretty newish now. The house will be a little bit old, but there's always been a building there then, isn't there? Yeah, and what I was excited about, apart from that gate, because I just love it, was at the turn of this century, which would be last century, probably 1900, Dr. Josiah Oldfield, a world famous dietetic specialist, took up residence. Dr. Oldfield was a close friend of, I know some of you are saying it, but I'm going to say it, Mahatma Gandhi. Wow. And while at Oxford University, they conspired together to establish the first fruitarian society. When Dr. Oldfield first arrived, here it goes, at the estate, it was almost derelict, and the hostess, now known as Helen's Court, was open at one end, allowing carts to enter. He set up a hospital here based on a fruitarian diet, the produce of harvest field, garden, forest and orchard, with milk, butter, cheese, eggs and honey. Oh. It was referred to as a fruitarian village, the hospital was, consisting of chalets, lodges and cottages. He was a dedicated physician and philosopher and a tremendous personality. In 1935, the cottage where he lived was destroyed by fire, along with the finest collection of dietetic books in the world. Tradition has it, another point where I like, that the monks from the Abbey or the Maison Dieu at Faversham come across to Great Grit on their many journeys, and when the last monk died, the stone hut they had used was turned into a woodshed. It was in the monk's hut that the doctor set up home following the destruction of his cottage. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll point you towards the black sign which says nothing. And that's what else I've got to say, is nothing. So again, see you soon.